What's up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night of Chewin the BBQ Fat. So glad to be back. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you had a good week. A lot of stuff going on. We had the SCA World Champions this week. Pretty cool. I saw some friends of ours did well. I don't know who won. I think it was a number is all I saw. But pretty cool. Maybe we'll get into that, who won, and have some talk about that. We also got some other fun stuff going on. I tell you what, our buddies at Recteq have always got new stuff going on, and I love having them on talking things. They got their Lehigh issue, stuff going on over there in Utah, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we got the one and only Mark Wetherell with Maya Jane Barbecue. I tell you what, up and coming, team of the year. We love the guy. He's awesome. And y'all just y'all come ready for your questions for Mark. He makes this comment like, if you want a mid-major guy, I might give me a break. You're a 3 seed in the contest in the brackets here. I mean, 2 seed, I would say. Pretty soon he's gonna be one of those 1 seeds, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. I got the bracket on my mind. March Madness is coming up. It's gonna be cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We don't have all night with the one and only Chef Greg, so we're gonna have to go ahead and get him on. What's going on, my man?
Man, Mark Wetherell is definitely a bracket buster of all time. I'm trying to think of he's not like Villanova, but he's one of those teams that you kind of like you're paying attention to, but you give no credit to, and he just comes out of nowhere and he
smokes everybody.
Gets a rib call or gets a pork call. Pork. He does good pork, So yeah, good times, man. Good times. Good to be here.
I don't know what he doesn't do well. All I know is the guy can cook, and great to have him on.
But he cooks better when he cooks in Recteq. So I'll just say that. We'll give him a hard time. He's not here to defend himself.
Well, let's go ahead and bring him on. So what's going on, man?
Yeah.
Appreciate the kind words. I'll take the 3 seed, but
I'll take the 3 seed. What's going up, Jason? How you doing, buddy? All right, so let's get going. Greg is a busy guy. I'm telling you guys, if he is a jet setter, he loves playing in the snow. He brought all that terrible weather back with him over here to the Georgia. I don't know what he did that for.
It was cold before I left, man. I was mowing grass, making it look good for the last couple of weeks, and then last week it got down to the 30s again. No, thank you. But yeah, we were just in our Lehigh headquarters doing an academy workshop up there, which was super cool. It was our first workshop class up there, and for those of you that don't know kind of about what we do at Recteq Academy, our Evans campus is. It's a hoot. You guys have both been there a couple times. It's a 3-day barbecue extravaganza. We cook and teach some of the most amazing food. It's 3 days of, it's education, entertainment. I don't know how much is more kind of, pressing, but it's a lot of fun. But the workshops are different. They're a single day class. We focused on ribs and chicken this past time, and it wasn't necessarily competition related. It was just really good backyard ribs. We showed St. Louis and baby backs, and we did chicken wings and spatchcock chickens, and it was great. We had a couple people cancel last minute because of the weather coming out of California. They kind of got stuck, but the people that were there had a blast, and it was really cool because there were 5 folks that joined us that had been through the Evans classes as well, and it was pretty cool. They had a blast with that, and it was sleety, snowy, 50-mile-an-hour winds Friday night. I left the office. It was brutal. Like I never care to have to drive and or set up barbecue pits in that weather. That's not my kind of fun. But we had a blast Saturday. It was gorgeous. It was a little chilly to begin with in the morning, but no wind, and it got a little cooler as the day went on. But it was fun, man. I ended up. It was like 6 o'clock. I went to turn one of the grills on, and the whole front, it was iced over. I pulled this chunk of ice off the controller, and it lit right up. It hit 275 in 10 minutes. It was great. It was better prepared for the weather than I was. Let's just say that.
That was one of the coolest reels I saw when I think it was a reel or whatever you did. I don't know what it was, but you hit the button and you're like, how do you do it? Just hit the button.
Turn it on.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the Utah campus, there's always something about that area that is just. I'll use the word majestic. Lehigh in itself is in a valley, so it's kind of in a desert, and our warehouse is kind of up one of the mountains, and the views are unbelievable. The weather in the spring was fantastic. The people are just absolutely unbelievable. They're complete barbecue heads. They cook all the time, and even out in that kind of weather, it's cool to be driving around and seeing people outside cooking, and they're used to it. So it's fun. But yeah,
Awesome.
next time I'm bringing some skis, we're going skiing.
There you go. Speaking of Majestic, Mark, when are you cooking again?
I am doing Derek's contest, Swamp Fest. So that's what next? I think it's the end of the month. So it's the March 30th.
Yeah, can't wait.
So looking forward to that.
So you've done Recteq academies, right?
I have, yeah. Greg, how many have done? I've done like 7 or 8, probably. You guys are sick of me, I'm sure.
I think you've probably done 4 or 5 at least.
Yeah.
I think at least 4 or 5. I mean, sometimes you crash the party to listen to some music and drink some cold beer, and I'm okay with that. There's benefits to living right around the corner.
Yeah,
but yeah,
nice.
Mark's been with us a good bit. He's had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and I saw Jason Hardy. He was there last month, and it's a blast. And I recommend like all the pit masters, they can somehow get out there and help teach and just kind of be a part of the experience for. I mean, it's 2.5 days of like nonstop, and it's a good for me. I use it as like kind of a tune-up for the season to kind of try some new things and then really kind of get my mind back in comp mode. But it literally, I mean, it's a lot of work, and I guarantee any of these guys here that have done it, they'll say by like Saturday afternoon at like 4 o'clock, it's just, I'm exhausted. Greg, you've been there probably since all week prepping, and it's like, it's so much fun though. And I just enjoy it because like, you get to teach and I this, teaching everybody.
For sure.
But
all right, Mark's having a little bit of,
I think that PC's crashing there, Mark.
Am I gone? Shoot.
He's back. You're good. So,
you're halfway there.
Yeah, you're good. You're freezing up a little bit. That's all right. Go ahead.
What Mark's trying to say is like, even though we teach competition barbecue to kind of like some of the best, some really good backyard cooks, a lot of folks aren't interested in competing, all the time. But it's cool because there's a lot of tips and tricks that I think we take for granted on the professional side. And I think, for me, I don't cook a lot of contests. I mean, I might showboat with somebody here and there. I just don't have that opportunity a lot. But I feel like, we make some of the best food off of our pits. And we had a group of people from Texas, Roddy Trevino with Rod Star Barbecue. I mean, amazing cook. Ram Benitez, just took first place in American Royal and Pork on a Recteq. Jackie Milligan with Chupacabra was there as well. And it's just fun to cook barbecue and kind of, the best part about barbecue we're talking about earlier, Brian, is just cooking with your friends and talking trash and having a good time and, not having to be judged for it. And that's like I said, that's the best part of the class. And for me, it's, I don't get the opportunity to take a lot of classes, but I mean, I get to shig on Mark when he comes by. We just had Luke Leggett with Tire Smoke Barbecue from Ohio join us. So there's teams from all over the country, good teams. And it's, like I said, we're barbecue first. So, I don't care if you're cooking on whatever you're cooking on. The best grill you have is the one in your backyard, right? And at some point, hopefully, you add a Recteq to that arsenal. And our academy classes. A lot of folks don't even own Recteqs; they're just passionate grillers and cookers, and maybe they cook on SOBs. Maybe you have a Traeger or a Camp Chef in your backyard, and when it breaks, you're going to buy a Recteq. So, like I said, they're fun.
So real quick, we talked about the academies. We talked about all that kind of stuff. I think most people know Recteq and pellet grills in general. Give a quick rundown, real quick, before we do that. If you're watching the show, share the page to somebody right now. Let's see if we can't get that up there to as many people as possible. I want to challenge y'all to share it. What do we do? What do y'all do? Smash it or something like that, Greg?
You got to smash that share button, man.
Yeah, smash that.
It only takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, smash it. But anyway, so tell people a little bit about pellet grills. What makes a pellet grill different than, say, a drum or an offset or whatever? Because
so I think for me,
so
I mean, I've been with
a contest right now. You're seeing there's becoming more and more specialized cookers. No longer do you see somebody just cooking on a Jambo, or do you see somebody just cooking on drums? You're seeing drums and pellet grills or gravity fed or something along those lines. You're seeing multiple smokers out there. Tell a little bit about the pellet grill world.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what attracted me, and I've been with the company for 6 years, and I was almost a customer first until Ray gave me my first Recteq. But what really attracted me to the brand and the product was the controller. Having a PID controller makes all the difference in the world, and that comes down to temperature precision. The grill's going to hold temp. regardless of weather conditions. It doesn't matter if it's 26 degrees outside and 50-mile-an-hour winds, the grill will hold temp. But then it's super precise. I mean, the way our controller works, without giving away the fort, it takes a temperature at such short intervals. There's no way for the grill to get out of whack. So you're not going to see massive temperature swings. And if you do see a swing, it's because you got the lid open, or you know what I mean. Like the grill will hold temp without I'll say interruption. And then I think, especially for what we're concerned with on the competition side, it's about hitting desirable textures. And if you can remove temperature control from your pit, you're going to achieve a consistent texture more frequently, right? And that's the name of the game in comp barbecue and really food in general, is if you can hit a desirable temperature and consistency every cook, you've hit a home run. And I think especially for folks that are trying to utilize multiple pits, they're trying to achieve different flavors, different textures. There's a lot going on. Who the hell wants to juggle 2 drums, an offset, and a Recteq, Mark Wetherell? Like, why not? I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it's like, that's a lot of work and it's fun. Like the chef in me and the cook in me would like that challenge. But the guy that has to pay for it would rather have more consistent results every time. And I get it. There's 2 schools of thought when it comes to that. And I was talking to some customers today around ceramic grills, and they love their green egg for, what green eggs are good at. But, to cook pork butts or briskets or ribs on ceramics and be consistent, day after day, week after week, is not, it's more than just based on you, the pit master, right? And if I can eliminate all those variables in regards to how the grill is working, that's where Recteq comes in. Our pits have been used by people all over the country to be real successful. Like I said, they just took a first place with Rampanitas on Two Brothers Barbecue and Pork. I think we got 2 calls when I was up there with Carrie 2 years ago. We did all the ancillaries on Recteq, and it was a blast. And like I said, if you look at the folks cooking on them through the Champions Barbecue Alliance in Texas, I mean, Rob Arocha is just absolutely slaying it down there. I mean, and it's super fun to see those guys, be passionate, not just about cooking in general, but about, I guess, the product. And we don't pay anybody to endorse our product, right? People use it because they love it. I just had Jeff and Julie Stout with Wicked Smoke. They're from Wisconsin. They came down. They were on their way through to Savannah, stopped by, said hello, and picked up some stuff. And like I said, teams like them and people like those folks are super passionate about the grills. And like I said, they just flat out work. And that makes my job easy because you don't have to lie to anybody. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you something that's not true, or the grills work. And that's pretty much the easiest thing with it. Not all pellet grills are created equal. You go to the store and Lowe's and Home Depot and Ace Hardwares and places, and you see all sorts of brands, and they're all different. And like, I mean, did anybody see that $1,000 Traeger flat top? Like, it's a Blackstone. Like, oh my, holy cow. So I think we try to offer a product for every person at every price point without sacrificing quality. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's the smallest of the grill or the biggest of the grill. It's the same controller, it's the same blower fan, same ignition system. Literally, the difference comes down to the size of the grill and how much stainless steel goes into it. That's it.
I mean, I know for me, like, we had Urkel with Uncle Pigs, and I forgot who he was on with, but we were talking that night about the texture, right? And that's what you're getting into. So at Sip and Swine with brisket, cooked it on the can to get where we wanted and all that, and then I moved it over to the Recteq for the rest. Yeah, because I was trying to get that consistent. I mean, like you said, it's going to be consistent. And Mark, you can talk about this. Yeah. You cook a lot of it. I'm looking for that once it's wrapped. I just want the consistent cook, the consistency of, and it's something that you can replicate over and over and over again. And I think that's what people miss. I have people ask me all the time, like, what is it about competition barbecue? What are you trying to do? It's like, I'm trying to do the same thing every time out. And I want the same result every time. What about you?
And like I said, there's different things you can do to get different results. But at the end of the day, if you can hit your texture, like if you get less than a 9 in a box, you're being lazy. I'll just say it like that. Yeah. And if you can hit, your taste is going to vary by the meat. You can't really fix that until you eat it. But you can sure as Pete dial in your texture every time, like, and be consistent about it.
Yeah. So can you guys hear me? Just making sure I kind of rearranged me. All right, good. So when I first got my, I guess 590 a couple years ago. So I mean, I was cooking ribs on the drum, kind of getting that flavor burst. And as soon as I had wrap, I'd throw it right in to the 590, and then, then from there do check for tenderness an hour later. But it was so much easier because I just was so worried about, there's so many things going on, and if I forgot to. Especially when I was on the Hunsakers, and if I have some probes going down in, if I open up the exhaust and forget to shut it, then like 10 minutes later, you look back, your drum's at 400. And if you're a wrap, you're kind of screwed at that point. So it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. And then really with chicken, same thing. And actually now I'm 100% chicken on the 590. And I just like, Greg said, I like the texture that comes off it. It's an easy cook. I don't have to, worry about it. It's boom, 275, 300. And it's perfect. And I like the bite off it. And it's good. It's not too much, get a little smoke, but it's, for me, like, I think my scores jumped, a lot, putting that Recteq into my program, 100%.
And there's other teams that have said that too. I think it's great. Like, like I said, if you can get a better or a different, flavor, color faster. I mean, drums do a great job at that. It's just like we had a group of guys that were used to cooking over charcoal. I love cooking on charcoal, but it's a huge pain in the butt to clean it up. Like, we can do that with the bullseye, and like I said, not have to worry about. We drink beer quicker after contests because it's a heck of a lot cleaner to. I think you said it last week. The best way to clean a drum is to sell it, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Like, with our grills, you turn them off, they cool off, you can hit the beer faster. So like, game on,
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, and and like I say, I think what we're seeing now in competition barbecue is a very specific trying to dial it in. I think barbecue today is so much more complex than it's ever been, right? Like, I think and the food is absolutely amazing, right? I'm not taking away anything from the past, but today you've got to hit it over and over and over again. The guys that you're cooking against is crazy. It's amazing. So if you can find a way to replicate that cook over and over and over again, and I love Recteq. I have multiple. Like, I had somebody come over the other day. They're like, "Holy smokes, that lid's really heavy compared to what I have at home." I was like, "Well, it's quality, right?" But anyway, I don't necessarily want this to be a Recteq promotion, but I do at the same time.
Whoa! I'm okay with that. Like,
I know, I'm with you. But my point to this whole thing is figuring out how to replicate something. And once you wrap food, I mean, there's other people, like I said, I know people that have gravity feds. Well, that's a big old smoker to carry around when all you're trying to do is have an oven. And it's like, you get that a pellet grill is going to, especially a Recteq, but a pellet grill is going to give you that constant flow. And Greg, I don't know. All I know about pellet grills is Recteq because that's all I've ever had. That's all I know. Is y'all's? Are they all where they have the diffuser plate type, where it's more of a convection, or is that something just y'all do?
So a lot of pellet grills have, sort of multiple baffles, if you will, whether it's heat deflectors, drip pans. I mean, not all created equal. I mean, Weber tried to take their gas grill and make it a pellet grill by putting in a hopper, but didn't change any of the grease management. And it, for no other way to put it than it just went up in smoke. I mean, it literally they called it the Weber smoke fire, but it just created grease fires, right? We do pride ourselves in having a lot of 304 stainless steel. We've never had a fire pot fail. All of our fire pots are located in the center of the grill, which, with the blower fan in there, gives you a perfect environment and a very consistent environment. And then, I think maybe not so much for barbecue, but, our grills get hotter than the competition. I mean, I'll pick on Traegers, they'll cap out 475, if maybe 500 on a good day, downhill with a tailwind, but they can't get hot, right? One of our flagship grills at 1250 will get over 750 degrees. And that's a big pit. I mean, you could fit 6 racks of ribs, 2 big briskets. Now you're not cooking them at 750 degrees, but for that product to get that hot, you have to have the quality in the steel to back it up. And we've never had one fail. Our bullseyes, the new Bullseye X's, I mean, that thing will get to 1,000 degrees. So those folks that say, "Oh, I want to cook on ceramics because of that," it's a lot of hot dogs. But so the fact that you can get a grill to 1,000 degrees from the palm of your hand by using the Wi-Fi and turn it on, like, that's unbelievable, and like I said, in the case of the Bullseye, there's no other grill like that. It's direct fire. It'll hold temp on the low end, and you get that, same effect you guys are getting on the drum, right? That fat's hitting the coals, if you will. Well, our fat is hitting that heat deflector, kind of vaporizing back up and giving your food some flavor and moisture. It does cook a little bit quicker than the rest of them just because of the environment. But I mean, we got a grill that can cook 2 racks of ribs that you can throw in the, a storage bay of a fifth wheel or a camper, or we got one that weighs, 500 pounds that can cook 30 racks of ribs. And the cool part about it is they all use the same components. And that comes down to quality, right? That's the one thing I think, Ray and Ron, our co-founders, have really, hammered home over the years, is that they want to always do the right thing by the customer, and making a product right the first time and standing behind it is really what they're looking for. So, I mean, there's other things pellet grill companies will do. A lot of times it's just, creative marketing. It's telling you there's a problem, therefore they fixed it. But at the end of the day, it's pretty simple, right? It's 5 components, and if you start with a good product, they're not going to fail to begin with. And the rest of it is, hate to say it, kind of smoke and mirrors. There are other, I guess, features competitor products have, but it doesn't make the cook any better. It doesn't improve the grill. It's just, I say it's words on a box, man. If like I said, it's just, creative marketing, and at the end of the day, it doesn't make the product any better. It just makes you think it's, better than the competition. And that's challenges. We're not in any stores. You got to, purchase one online or come by our Lehigh or Evans retail. But I said, if you're on the fence, you can always message, some of the Facebook groups, and you'd be surprised that, your neighbor probably has a grill or this and that. So it'd be, like I said, get your hands on one. You'll never feel something of that size that's as heavy, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I had a buddy, he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, you do barbecue, blah, blah." He's like, I got a Recteq and I cook at 225, a pork butt. Can you tell me what to do? I was like, oh, 225. Huh? I was like, I cook mine at 300 on my Recteq. I don't know. Yep. That's just what I do. It doesn't matter. And he's like, man. And I told him the whole process or whatever. And he was like, man, that was the best pork butt I've ever cooked. It was juicier, but I was like, for me, you're not in that harsh environment as long, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where you can play around with it, do whatever you want to, and have fun with it. Real quick, somebody asked up here earlier, are y'all going to do an online class, Greg?
We do not have plans out there presently, but okay. We're always working on something. There was an email that went out. It was actually pretty cool. I got it today. There's let me see here, 2 new grills coming on the 20th.
Yep.
Right. Like, super exciting. So you can't really see the picture of it because it's kind of shadowed out, but super swanky photography there. Yeah, no, like I said, it's the cool part about it. Like I said, I've been with the company.
Grills coming out, huh?
Yeah, we're just gonna skate over that.
And like I said, you don't have to give me any information. None.
Big, 0. You're not getting any. That's grills, all I got. I got
small,
the email.
Are they big grills, small grills?
I mean, it just says right here. Sometimes,
Mark.
Small things pack big flavor, right?
Like, are they good?
He doesn't even know.
I don't really know
yet.
Honestly, I haven't seen him. I have. I got so many. One of my neighbors' good friend Jeff, he's a Recteq guy. He works there. He doesn't tell me anything. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we've come out with a lot of really good innovation over the last couple of years. We've added a couple new, I'll say, sizes to our lineup. We've got a fantastic built-in offering with the 1070, and again, that thing is priced right. It really is going after sort of that higher end Memphis grill avenue. But what's nuts is, like, the Memphis counterpart's like $3,800. Like, that's absurd. You could buy 3 of our grills for one of their price, and it's like. And I don't want to say it's the same grill because our controller is way better, but like it'll fit in the same footprint, right? So why would I want to buy something with less of a warranty, 3 times as expensive? No, not going to happen. Like I said, we've changed. The 1250 is now kind of like the bigger, better brother to the 700, and I think these are going to be a great complement to those that maybe don't need as much room. So, like I said, I'm excited. I've been cooking on them for a hot minute. And like I said, it might not be the grill for you, or it could be the perfect grill for you. And that's the beauty of kind of what we got. We really have a grill for every pocketbook and every patio. So I'm stoked.
And you even have coolers that you can throw the meat in, wrap it in a towel, throw it in one of those coolers,
Yep.
and you're good to go.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's never a dull day around the office. Like I said, we're always working on something, and maybe online classes are next. I mean, stay tuned. I know the workshops were the first up in Lehigh this past weekend. We got 4 scheduled for this year. Again, completely different format for what we do for our kind of our big academy at Evans, and that's the cool part is it's up to us to kind of keep innovating and creating and just having fun with it at the end of the day, because that's the best part of the job is just
Now, all of those are
just having
sold
fun.
out. Are all your academies at Evans sold out?
Yeah, we do have a wait list. I mean, things
Okay.
happen in the last, usually about 2 weeks before a class, we'll get a couple cancellations. So I do have a wait list. So if people are interested, just shoot me an email, chefgreg@recteq.com. I'll put it in the comments later. But the Lehigh ones are sold out with the exception of the August class. Like I said, the first class this week, we did ribs and chicken. SCA, Stick Cook-Off Association, is super popular up in that area. So our next class is going to be more of an SCA steak intro and ancillary. So we'll kind of open, I guess what that competition can be to some people maybe don't know about it. So I'm kind of excited about that. And then we do a brisket and chicken class. That'll be I think it's in June. And then August will be pork and poultry.
So are those classes, are they just like 1-day classes, the Lehigh?
Yep. So
much?
yep, 8 hours. We kind of have a
Yeah.
meet and greet Friday, just because most people travel the day before, and that was nuts. Is we had 20 people travel from I'll say far away. We had a good bit of locals. I mean, some folks from Salt Lake City, Lehigh, Moab area. So I mean, not too far away, but we had folks from Texas, California, Washington State, Oregon. I had 2 guys from Georgia. I even called them like the week before the class, and I was like, hey. Just making sure, because one was from Alpharetta and one was from Cumming, so like literally the middle of Georgia. And I'm like, just making sure you guys know this class is in Utah, not Evans. And they're like, absolutely, we're super excited. And I was like, cool, man. Like, which is hysterical because I grew up in Alpharetta, and I'm like, all right, man, like you're gonna fly and travel 12, what is it? It's a 4-hour flight to Salt Lake plus rent a car, this and that, for a 1-day class to cook ribs. And the dude had a blast. So
awesome.
he was like, I want to come up for another one. And I was like, why don't you just like get on the wait list for Evans? And he was like, no, like this is perfect. I love this. And I was like, all right, man, like let's go.
Make it happen. That's too
Yeah.
cool. So for those of you that just joined in, you missed out on all the big discounts and
Promo
codes and the new smokers that are coming out at Recteq. So I hated that y'all missed that, but anyway, stay tuned for the 20th coming out. Matthew Stoltz said, pizza cooker inserts coming soon. Bullseye works great for pizza, but aftermarket equipment isn't up to Rick. I don't know what he's. What's up, Matt? How you doing, buddy? Is there an aftermarket pizza thing that's out there for y'all or something, or is that y'all got going on? Something y'all got going on?
We do not have a pizza attachment at the present.
Maybe that's what somebody is using one, I guess.
I mean, Bullseye
Maybe.
cooks a fine pizza, so
it does. Yeah, I tend to use a lot of pizza screens. Like if I'm doing pizzas on like a 590 or 700, and it's just to move the dough from the house to outside. But a lot of times, if we have pizza night here, we have friends on the patio. We'll do them on the Bullseye, and I cook like more of a Neapolitan style, so it's like a 24-hour fermented dough. I'll cook that directly on the grates of the Bullseye at 475, like 7 minutes, perfect. So
Red Barons work good too.
Frozen
there you go.
Make it from
Joseph,
scratch.
I'm with you, buddy. Joseph Puccio says pizza screens are for chicken.
That's
so
right.
I couldn't agree anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Bullseye. Kerry uses his Bullseye for pizza.
I did see a fun picture, and I wasn't sure. It wasn't on one of our pages. It was like just like a barbecue group, but it was chicken. It looked like those silicone tray / baking mat things. So it reminded me of a brisket caddy for your chicken. So, but it was made out of silicone. I got to find that. It looked pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a shot and see what that is. But it had little sort of rectangular where the chicken thighs were in. Yeah, it looked pretty interesting. I've never seen one of those before.
Awesome. Well,
yeah,
Greg,
not a Recteq product. We're not doing that.
Yeah, that's out. Jump. No good.
We're not working on that. Yeah, not a free tease right there for sure.
Not a free tease. You already missed all the free teases. Y'all, those are gone.
We did. Yeah.
Anyway.
We showed you all the pictures. We gave you the free discount code for a free grill. Actually, Brian was nice. Atlanta Barbecue Store is going to buy everybody in the chat thread a free RT700.
Right.
He's gonna take that endorsement deal he got from Sip and Swine, and he's just going to pay it forward.
That's right. Yeah. Oh me. But anyway, Greg, I know you have to go.
Yeah, I gotta get little people asleep. My wife is with my 2 older boys playing lacrosse. I think they had a game in up in Greensboro area, Greenville. They're driving back, so I need to get the little one to sleep.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate all the Recteq talk. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, just shoot me an email, chefgreg@recteq.com, or you can shoot me a message in the Facebooks. Just go ahead and just shoot me a message, and we'll answer any and all of your questions. And if you're in the area of Evan, stop by. If you got a contest in the area, maybe it's Banjo BQ or some of the other ones you're passing through on I-20, I encourage you stop by. It's a great place to have a pit stop, and just kind of see what we got going on. And like I said, if you're interested in joining us for an academy class, let me know, man. We love having people. I see Vince calling it in the chat thread too. We use everybody's stuff. I mean, I'll say it's barbecue first, and like I said, it's all about that camaraderie and fellowship, and we love to have everybody and everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on, man. We'll talk
See you,
to you,
Greg.
buddy.
Later, buddy.
Man, Mark, that was pretty awesome. We were lucky enough to have Greg come on and talk a little bit about Recteq and stuff like that. So, and no, y'all are not missing out on anything. There was no discount codes. There was no anything other than the 20th will be some kind of release.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for the release on the 20th.
Greg doesn't give himself much credit. I mean, he's like one of the top 20 world chefs or whatever his, culinary certificate is. But that's another thing too, is, I'm just a barbecue cook. So there's some things that, I'll bounce off him. Occasionally, like, hey, my chicken is sucking, or what can I do? Or, so I use him as a sounding board too, just because he's a chef. He knows how things kind of work, protein wise.
Great chef. I mean, that's what's so cool, is getting to know him and knowing what he's been able to do in the past. Is pretty awesome. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So you're this mid-major or whatever you called yourself. I mean, we all know that Mark exactly said Mark Wetherell, such a rock star. I could not agree more. It's so funny having him come on with his little. I mean, you talk about somebody that's humble. I mean, this guy is awesome. He's a great cook, up and coming. He's going to be blowing everybody out of the water here soon. Got a new trailer. Talk to me about your new trailer.
I did get a new trailer. Yeah, well, I appreciate the kind words. I just feel like, I don't know, 22 is just kind of I feel like I was in a slump. It seems like I got chicken call a lot. And other than that, like everything else it was up and down. It was an up and down year. But like I think I told you before, I kind of switched around cookers. I hopped around, and I don't know, I just wasn't consistent. So it was kind of irritating. It was, I don't know, it was okay. I got my teeth kicked in quite a bit, but like at the end of the year, I was ready for a break. Like I didn't want to cook. I kind of unplugged like everything. And then I think did the January Recteq class. I kind of got the juices going again, kind of getting the competition mode and stuff. But yeah, so I got a new trailer last week. So Scott Smith, QSB, just a little cook trailer, something perfect for me and mom and dad when they come with. So just a 8.5 by 18 Vinos, 8-foot porch. So I can put, I don't know. I'm trying to decide what I want to cook on this year. So I'm going to go Recteq again, or get a couple drums back there. But it's cool. It's got an awning. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of you guys see me, so I'm always unloading and loading, and I'm getting old. It's exhausting. And I just want to, kind of pull up and just cook and just kind of just move things to the porch, organized, set up, and just kind of, I don't want to put up tents. I'm tired. So it's nice. I have it, I'm probably pissing my neighbors off. So it's been sitting in my driveway for the last 3 or 4 days, and kind of staring at it, put on some accessories, and just, I might get some stickers put on tomorrow. So, but yeah, so it's fun. I'm excited.
That is awesome. And it's so cool about the beginning of the year. Everybody's getting ready to they're ramping up, trying to figure out the best way to go, getting their new trailers. How do you work a new trailer? Where does this go? Where do I find all my stuff? Everything's not where I used to be. And then all of a sudden you're like, holy smokes, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is too cool.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was trying to do. So after I borrowed Jim Berg's trailer, Killer Bees, a couple weeks ago for Sip and Swine. Mine was ready. It was just a crazy week for us. So I just couldn't get up and meet Scott and get it. So I already had Jim's trailer planned, and it was better than cooking out of tents and all, especially we got all that rain on Friday night and thunderstorm warnings, all that stuff. So it was godsend. It worked. So it was nice, but I was still out of, all my totes, and just kind of felt just unorganized, and had 2 tents up. And I was like, kind of felt like full circle back to where I was at end of the year. but it was a lifesaver. But so over the weekend I kind of, visualize where I want to put things, and I'm an accountant, so I'm kind of organized. I get, sort of OCD on things, kind of. So I just wanted to like take the time and just figure out what I want to do. So when I do get to I'm sure next, in a couple of weeks, I'll probably, run around with my head cut off again, trying to figure out some stuff. But, and just really kind of like declutter. I mean, I was at our potluck, Ellen, you guys were running around trying to look for like tongs and spoons, and like, oh yeah, I've never used them. I've had them in my trailer for like 4 years. I think I used one set or one pair and I had like 5. So it just shows you like how much, because everybody's like, you got to have extras of like everything.
Right.
And so there was just a lot of stuff. I was like, I need to go through and just kind of just reorganize and clean up. And so try to get ready.
Yeah. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Silicone chicken tray. Didn't you have one of those? A silicone chicken. That's what I guess that's what Greg was talking about.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
I know you can cook in them, so maybe it doesn't mess up your pans, right? So you put that in. So then I'm sure they're rated to 400 degrees or something like that.
Man,
but
that's awesome.
What's the contest this weekend? Is there one coming
this weekend up? Is Lebanon, Smoke on the Shores.
Okay. So I'm sure everybody's cooking that one pretty much.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. We will have you better hurry up and get your orders in if you want them to go. We will be having somebody ship up there. I do not know the thing. I'm sure it's Lebanon, but I don't know the code. Email Ellen, she'll tell you. But yeah, that's gonna be a big one. I love watching these. I love this time of year where it's ramping up, right? Like it's not like every weekend we have something to look at, but I love being able to watch the awards and everything else. For me, we've got baseball this weekend. I've got both my kids have baseball tournaments, and Sarah's got a softball game. So we got 3 games on Saturday, and 2 of us trying to figure it out. So that means it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold again. I don't know what the heck is happening here. Frank's going down to the St. Patty's Day parade down there in Savannah. I think him and Joseph and all those guys, I'm pretty sure they do a big parade or big to do down there. I don't know much about it, but it sounds like they have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Kiara and I, we're going to Charlotte Friday, so we're going to go see a comedy show.
Oh, who's
so
that?
We're going up there, so getting away for a little bit, and then of course it's March Madness. So I'm a big college basketball guy. So I'm a Purdue Boilermaker. So
are they gonna be any good?
I don't know. We'll see. They're driving me nuts. Both my parents graduated from Purdue, so that's kind of my team.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm looking for. It'll be a good weekend of basketball. I'll be probably cooking something and be a good time.
I'm headed up to Cherokee on Thursday to first day of March, first day of the games. A lot of fun. Go up there, watch games all day.
No, heck yeah.
So, all right. So let's go back and talk a little bit about what you've got going on. What your 2023 looks like. Do you have any goals? What are your goals? How bad are you going to beat everybody?
Oh God. I don't know. I just want to have a solid cook. Like it's been a minute since I felt comfortable closing 4 lids. I mean, obviously I want to win again. I mean, that's always the goal every weekend, but my goal all the time is I want to hear my name called at an event. That's always been a personal goal, and we've achieved that a lot, which is nice, but I want to hear it 4 times, not just 1 time. And I don't know, I think I have scheduled, I'm going to try to do all the GBC. So I think I'm going to do Calhoun. I'm going to do the new one on Florida. So I guess going in order. So we had Derek's contest, and week after that's the new Lake City, Florida contest. So get to go battle out with some of the Florida guys and the Southeast. I mean, we just beat up on each other down here. And then what's after that, I think is like Calhoun, and then Boss Hog, our favorite. And then I think that's it. Then we got a break in July or 2 July.
What about you doing Greenwood?
Yeah, I'm doing Greenwood. Yeah. So then, so June, off all June, and we'll hit it in July with Greenwood, and then I guess pick up the GBC stuff. And I think I'm doing Pusakyu. I'm assuming you're going back for Pusakyu.
Well, I signed up the other day. So Chewin the BBQ Fat will be cooking Pusakyu. So we're gonna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, there's no about it. Look, that's going to be after the Royal. So I told Robert, I was like, I'd love to cook that thing, but I can't do it.
That's
so maybe we can do it together. And he said, "Sure, let's do this." So we're going to try and cook Pussyq as a team. It just takes I'm telling you, cooking as a team is awesome. It was a blast. It takes off a lot of pressure. It gets you back to what barbecue is all about, hanging out with friends, enjoying it. The expectations are lower. Just a really good time.
Yeah, I'd like to do that one of these days. Team up with somebody if they wants to have me on. But I mean, it's I'm thankful my mom and dad will come with me every now and again, and my mom helps us boxes, and my dad's good sounding board, and he's got a good palate, so it's kind of it's good, but it's a lot of work cooking all four by yourself, and but I guess it's the control aspect, right? So you got to give up control and trust your partner. Like, all right, you got these two. And obviously taste and help them, all that stuff. But
you just got invited to be on the trio, SS trio with Joseph. I mean, they've told me I was not welcome, and they just said you're welcome anytime. So that's all. I mean, that's a good group of cooks, and proud of you. They said I'm out. Going to be a crowd at Lebanon. I bet there is. There's going to be a lot of people, and it sounds like David and Joel will be hosting the Irish car bombs at their location up there in Lebanon. So if you want an Irish car bomb, shoot on over there and find them. But I meant with me, not the trio. That's an exclusive crew. I hear you, Joseph. No one to blame but myself. There you go. I mean, you can look at it however you want to, Jacob. I like that. That's what weekend is Pussyq. It is the second weekend of October.
Yeah. And it was fun, man. We had a blast last year. It was a good time. Actually, it was probably one of our better cooks there, and got a rib call. I was like 0.04 away from one of those big ass trophies that you got. So it was,
love that guy.
It was close. Yeah. Yeah. But did you check the did you look at the score? I always like Sunday, always stat check like KCBS scores. Did you check out the Yuma contest?
I saw today on Facebook they posted some dude had 3 180s and
Chris. So I mean, Facebook friends with him, whatever, but he's a Colorado guy. And so I lived in Colorado for 20 some years and stuff. And so I think he's a Proud Souls barbecue team, but I think he won the American Royal Invitational, didn't he? I think he did. Bushmaster. Yeah. But like 3 180s. And I mean, that's just insane.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's when you're having a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's Bushmaster. He's pretty awesome.
There's Aaron. Aaron had a heck of a chicken call too. Hopefully you're doing all right, Aaron. I saw she fried some Recteqs.
Nice.
Or something.
Fried Recteqs?
Yeah.
That's not good. Tim Crawford, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. She's better. That's good. Glad to hear it. Don't know what's going on. With a 162. Something with a 162. I don't know what Carrie's talking about. 162 and something. But anyway, so what's your favorite contest?
I mean, it's got to be Boss Hog. I mean, that's when we won our first ever GC, and it's 30 minutes from our house. It's just I don't know, they cater to the cook teams. Like it's just a nice, they make you feel welcome there, and they just go beyond just to make sure you're comfortable and you got everything you need. And it's a fun it's a small town, and the public shows up. We do people choice, and my family, they all come with me. So my kids help do the, pass out the people's choice and stuff. And it's just fun. That's gotta be our favorite. And then I think second's probably Greenwood, just cause it's just a huge contest. You get to see everybody, and it's just kind of got that downtown vibe, and, kind of a party atmosphere. So, but what about you? What do you like?
Well, I'm already there, so that makes it even better. Whenever I'm there.
And you there, yes. Right? I like stopping by and bugging you. It's always my highlight.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that, than coming to, I don't have a game to be on, so you can't knock me off my game because I'm just there. But it's awesome. Boss Hog is a great event. I've never been able to cook Boss Hog. I've heard a lot about it. There's a lot of good contests. I mean, y'all all know what I'm going to say is my favorite contest is the Royal, right? Like that's obviously my number one contest. Love it. But I like Greenwood. It's a great contest. I like I like being in downtown with all the shops and all the food and everything. I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, the absolute best contest out there. I haven't been able to cook it yet. But it's by far the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic in November. I mean,
It's a good one.
It is.
It was fun.
It's by far the best.
That's right. You've killed.
My number one is Sip and Swine. I mean, I was trying to avoid that, but Sip and Swine is definitely my favorite. When we were up there, Cindy was like, "Oh, you're the first 2-time winner of this."
Oh, that's cool.
So, it's really cool. That's a great contest. I mean, it's close to the house. But you know what made this one was so cool for multiple reasons. Like cooking with Robert was obviously a blast, but the Friday night potluck that we had, just being able to get together with everybody, it was like, I mean, it was almost like what barbecue was used to be like.
Yeah,
we're all hanging out, having a good time. And then Saturday got down to business and it was cool, but it was almost to me, and the way I was seeing it before, like even before awards, I went in and was like, I told Ellen, I was like, this was one of the most fun I've had at a contest in a long time.
Yeah.
And
it was a good time. And I think I told you, I mean, I'm still consider myself somewhat new, but I think I missed some of the, the back in the day potlucks on whether Friday nights and a lot of us still kind of hang out and I'll make my rounds to see everybody, but it was just fun just to kind of sit and like Ryan King, he's a cool dude and I talked to him quite a bit, but it's kind of neat to sit and eat with him, met his wife and stuff. And, met the Kith and Kin crew and super nice couple and got to see Wes because I only see him maybe once a year, if that. So it was just kind of fun just to kind of catch up with everybody and just kind of hang out and just.
And then we had people come by the RV afterwards and just chill out, sitting around and just talking, just hanging out, doing nothing.
I'm kicking myself though. I think, was it Saturday morning? I think I was walking around, or no, it was Friday. So I think, Robert was kind of, just OCDing on that blue drum, his Smurf drum. And so I was asking, like, well, which one are you going to be, which one's yours? What are you cooking on? Or the ribs on? He's like, the blue one. I'm like, has anybody bought that one yet? And he's like, nope, not yet. So I was like, well, I'm going to buy it. So when you first place ribs, like that one's going to be my smoker. And I think I came back the next morning and it was sold.
Nobody gave me any credit. Nobody wanted, I mean, that charcoal one was wanted, but nobody gave me any credit for like, hey, which one's going to be the pork drum? Like, it's cool. It was gone though before the contest even started. So yeah. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Robert with his blue drum, it sold too. Matt, I'm pretty sure you can get an order in. I don't know what it is. Lebanon might be the discount code, but go ahead and put your order in and make sure you say you want it to be delivered. There should be something on the website that tells you where to put in for the discount code. Bill Purvis, we know you like rodeo cook-offs because you win them all. That was another sweet bell buckle you got again.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The guys, I mean, Bill is just killing, absolutely on fire. Brian Payne, you're a true champion.
I think we need to bring a CBA contest to Georgia.
It's interesting you say that. We're going to be working on some stuff.
Yeah,
my pork drums tote trophies. There you go for other people. It was great seeing everyone again. Happy to be back at it. Joel, it was great seeing you. I enjoyed it. A lot of fun hanging out with everybody. So Mark, what was the biggest change you made in the off season for your either recipe or setup or whatever? What do you think is going to be, what was the biggest move that you made this off season to set you up for success?
Probably, well, I mean, taking your class for one. So because I've really never taken a class. So, that was kind of like I said, at the end of last year, I was like, all right, I got to do something. I need to refresh because I don't say what I was like. My recipes weren't working. I just don't think my cooks just weren't good. So my chicken's not going to change. I like my chicken. I like my pork. Brisket I was chasing my tail with brisket. I have been for the last couple of years. So it was good to get a good recipe on that. And then, and just figure out how to incorporate it with some of the flavors I like. But it's just more to me is like the technique of just how to wrap things. And, I got a good au jus recipe finally, like just little things like that. And then ribs, same thing. Like for whatever reason, my was doing well in ribs a couple years ago, and it kind of started the year after that okay, and then they just dived, and I don't know what happened, but so I got a good or a new rib recipe, and I think you know which one that is. So so I'm excited about that. So there's some things like, I really like, I'll say I've never injected ribs. I never have, and I was successful not injecting ribs. I've probably told people blue in the face. I kind of took pride in that, like I don't have to inject ribs. But then my scores just tanked. I'm getting like, just dry, and I could just tell like it wasn't there. So I knew I had to change. And it
was funny. He came up to me, that guy that you're talking about, Bill Triple H, came up to me after the war. He's like, I'm not going to teach your class ever again. Because I sat up there and saw 4 people up there I know is cooking my stuff. I was like, Bill, you're just an incredible teacher. What are you supposed to do? I mean, that it is what it is. You might not need to teach so good. And we had a good laugh about it. He's a world champion. I mean, he's a true champion, right? Like he is a guy that, just a class act. But it was funny. He was, yeah. And, Bill is, he's a great dude, good friend. But he was giving me a hard time. He was like, that's it. I'm not doing this again. Tired of looking up there, people beating me. I was like, oh, golly, you're just too good. You're just,
just good. Like watching him teach and cook ribs, like it just, I don't know. It was awesome. It was just kind of, going back to kind of old school barbecue, just the way he was, just his approach to it. And sometimes, his, I don't want to say simple, but sometimes you just need to like, I don't know, kind of tune out all the other crap and just kind of, it's just cooking, right? And just, it's all about feel and doing some things and just focus on that versus, I don't know, chase around, thermoprobes and timers and stuff like that. Right. So, but yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing. So I got a couple new recipes I'm going to, try. And I did like my brisket at Sip and Swine. I think I like a one, I don't know. That's kind of my punt category. I hate to say it, but if I can get like a 171, 172 and, I'll pop and it'll go higher, but, I don't know. So that's kind of like, I just want to get just a consistent recipe on that. And I think, I got one. So, but yeah.
So you would highly suggest taking the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic class?
Yeah, I think so. For sure. Like I said, I've been, even though I haven't really had my own class, but I've taught some classes and, GBC classes and stuff. So I kind of been behind that table, teaching, but like kind of sitting and really focusing on what they're doing and, handwriting stuff and taking notes. And it was fun. It was a good time. And it's just, I highly recommend it. And I know everybody says like, what do you recommend for new teams? Like take a class. And I really never took a class. So,
hey, here we go.
I'm glad I did.
You took a good one. You took a fun one. And we had a good time. That was a fun class, fun time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So anyway, how can people get in touch with you? I know we're wrapping up time. I've kept you long enough.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. Facebook, friend me. I like posting a lot more on Instagram. But I always kind of, I don't know, my main personal page is just primarily barbecue stuff. So I don't get too crazy with anything on Facebook, but, I am on there all the time. But like Instagram, I do, a lot of stuff. So just, look me up, Maya Jane Barbecue on Instagram and, Mark Wetherell on Facebook. But yeah. And I'd like helping out. So feel free. Anybody's got questions.
Yeah. If you got any questions for Mark, go ahead and ask him questions. He is a major player in the if we had to do the what do you call it, the tournament, the rankings or the seeds or whatever, he's at least a 2 seed,
6 seed,
if not a 1 seed. That's what it's all about. But anyway, oh man, Mark, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate everything. Thank you for all you do. It was a good talk. I really enjoyed the barbecue, talking with Greg, with Recteq. And I do love how that whole thing is coming around of, being specialized in your smokers. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going to go see anybody, Jason Hardy said he's available from 10:30 to 1. Man, that's pretty awesome.
All the time.
You're doing a great job. Tim, he is a great dude. At least a 2 to 3 seed, couldn't be better. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for everything y'all do. Y'all are the best viewers or whatever in the industry. Love it. Thank you so much for watching the show. Look forward to seeing you next week on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Y'all have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time. Have a good
Thanks,
one.
Brian.
You're welcome, Mark.